We are bringing you special coverage as Hurricane Ian is now expected to make landfall along the South Carolina coast within the hour. That is the latest information live right here in Myrtle Beach. You can see the camera just kind of bouncing around from those heavy winds. The rain is pounding that area, the waves moving in. All of this area from Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, Charleston, the Low Country, they've all issued states of emergency in anticipation of what is to come from what is now Hurricane Category 1 Ian. Tens of thousands of power outages already being reported across the Low Country, we're learning, and we're also getting pictures from loved ones of downed trees and debris scattered in these areas. This storm just only beginning its wrath. And First Alert Meteorologist Bryan Bachman in the Weather Center right now with more. And also Haley Spittler is outside of our station where wind is already picking up. But I do want to start with you, Brian.
All right, thanks very much, Margaret. And the latest on Ian showing a bit more of a sharp wobble actually inland toward the coast as it stands right now. Maintaining its strength, still Category 1, maximum sustained winds at about 85 miles per hour. But this new wrinkle really has developed pretty quickly here over the last hour and a half. Instead of the system jogging northward like it's been all day long, we've actually seen more of this kind of hard left turn, if you will, or a northwesterly wobble to the center of circulation. So I'm starting to think now, instead of that 2 o'clock time frame that we had been keying in on for landfall, I'm starting to think this looks likely that it may happen as early as the next hour or so, likely around the Georgetown area. We'll take a closer look at the eye in just a moment here, but regardless, you can see already some intense bands of rain rolling in across much of the Low Country and in toward the Midlands. Columbia getting pretty close to that next push of heavier rain. Some of that is tracking into the upstate areas as well. Again, closer look in just a moment, but it's all across North Carolina, as you can see there as well, as Ian begins to really get close to inland, to the coastline here, I should say here. We'll go ahead and call it landfall imminent at this point, again, based on that sudden hook it's taken. Another look at Myrtle Beach here, which looks like the camera may be starting to go in and out on us a little bit here. But what's going on in Myrtle Beach right now is kind of a grouping of really just all the bad conditions happening at the same time. For one, they're going to be on the stronger side of the eye when this thing comes on shore, so they're getting the stronger winds pushing more water inland off of the ocean, making for a bigger storm surge, combined with the fact that they are near high tide right now. So you can see even in some of these low-lying spots, of course the camera getting smacked around by the rain and the winds there, but you can see a lot of that ocean water kind of retreating a bit farther inland past those dunes there. So things likely to get a little bit worse, certainly in Myrtle Beach, before they get better as Ian makes that landfall sometime soon. Temps there around 65 degrees. Notice the sustained wind, though, up to 30 miles per hour out of the north right now. Still plenty of time for that to increase as that direct eye approaches the area, and they're already seeing gusts in the 40 to 50 mile per hour range. You can bet those will be increasing there over the next couple of hours too. So again, keying in on this here, the center of circulation right about here right now, taking more of that sharp inland jog here in the last hour and a half. So it's looking again like McClellanville toward about the Georgetown area, assuming this wobble kind of completes here and doesn't change course anytime soon. Again, thinking sometime in the next hour, it's going to be right around those two spots where we see that landfall. Big swath of heavy rain all the way barking back into the Charleston area. We got flash flood warnings all along the coastline areas right now as those heavy rains continue to pummel the area. Bringing it back to where we are beginning to get into some of the outer bands of Ian here around Lawrence, Spartanburg area, Rutherfordton, for example. You're starting to get into some of the lighter rains on the leading edge of this system. Not too high in intensity for now, but all of this is going to continue to build and back into the west as Ian begins to track inland over the course of the day here. So we look at future track. We'll go from the noon hour in toward the 3 o'clock time frame this afternoon, and you really start to see it there. That rain picking up in intensity. We get more of those orange shades, the darker greens, indicating the steadier, heavier rains backing in. That trend will just continue to spread more and more of the area as we head toward the 6 o'clock hour this evening, and it looks like that's around the window when the worst of the rain will start to spread in. Those heavier pockets of rain continuing to back in, picking up really in intensity anywhere from Greenwood, Newberry, Union, all the way to Asheville by about the 11 o'clock hour tonight. Of course, Greenville, all the way to Toccoa included in all of that. And that'll continue to shift its focus into the mountains through the first part of the night before then Ian weakens further into tomorrow, and we slowly back this down just to scattered showers. Nonetheless, rainfall amounts still likely to be pretty impressive, especially the farther east we go. half an inch to an inch of rain in our western spots. Franklin, Toccoa, over towards Seneca, for example, Elberton, Greenville, Lawrence, Newberry, up toward about Asheville, Hendersonville, a 1 to 3 inch range for you in terms of total rainfall. And then the highest spots, 3 to 4 inches of rain, including Rutherford County, all the way up toward Mitchell and Yancey counties, and over toward the Spartanburg and Gaffney areas by the time most of this heavy rain winds down into tomorrow afternoon. Focusing on the winds now here for a moment. We're already gusting to 39 miles per hour at Greenville, 35 miles per hour in Anderson, and you can bank on those increasing as the day goes on here, picking up even by lunchtime to about that 30 to 40 mile per hour range, essentially where we are right now. Going to the 3 o'clock hour this afternoon and into this evening, that's when we start to see more of that 30 to potentially 50 mile per hour wind gust range unfold. Lots more time for things to get a little bit worse here, so make sure you're getting any travel you need to get done sooner rather than later, and get ready to hunker down tonight. Margaret Ann.
All right, thank you for all of that this morning. And we do want to get to Haley Spittler, who is right outside of our station. And Haley, winds are really picking up out there. I was just outside a couple of minutes ago myself.
Yeah, there's no rain yet outside, but as you mentioned, Margaret Ann, there is wind, and every couple of minutes you definitely get a big push of wind. You'll see it in the trees, you can hear it in the trees, my hair will start moving. So if you are heading out soon, I would definitely bring a jacket, but as Brian mentioned, if you can stay home, let's stay home today. There's no reason to go out into a storm that we don't need to. And I wanted to bring up, we talk a lot about our Fox Carolina First Alert weather app. I right now have radar pulled up. This is a great tool to use, especially in days like today. It will tell me exactly where I'm located. I can see that storm that's about to come in. It's green there. If I zoom out, I can see more of the severe threat. But if you're somebody who wants to track where Ian is, where it's making landfall, if I zoom out just a little bit more, I can see the hurricane's entire track right there. So this is an absolutely great tool to have, especially like I mentioned today. If you were to lose power, you can still stay tuned here. We do have these live updates every single hour today, but if you're wanting to stay connected and in tune, even between those, please give this app a download. It is completely free. It's on our App Store. It's on Google Play, so a great tool to have. But for now, you know, if the wind isn't super bad on the Fox Carolina Garden, but like I said, every couple of minutes, Margaret Ann, we're feeling it. So I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you so much for that update here in the upstate. Haley, and we are heading right now to Holden Beach, North Carolina. I do want to tell you that this is right over the North Carolina-South Carolina state border. So it is in North Carolina, but it's just up the road right outside of Myrtle Beach. So they're seeing about the same conditions that they are seeing along our South Carolina coast as well. And of course, we are going to be bringing you updates at the top of each hour. We're also expecting Governor Henry McMaster to provide an update at 12:30 today, so about 20 minutes from now, and we're going to bring you that on air as well once it begins. Just a reminder for you, though, make sure that you are going to the App Store, maybe just taking out your phone right now, opening the camera and scanning this QR code. This is going to help you download our First Alert weather app. It is so helpful in times like this because when your power goes out, and I assure you at some point it most likely will, you're going to have this, and we can send those alerts, watches, and warnings straight to your phone for your area. It's a great tool to have, and we're going to send you right back to your regular programming now.